He didn't do that. I did it. I killed Tilda. Why? Because she recognized me as her executioner. You will notice that I have also answered when. Part 3. I had just come back from my attempt to cross the Great Desert. I cannot tell you who sent me on this mission, because I do not know. Yet, I am giving you this report as a matter of principle. Monsieur Lazarus, the French vice consul, had delivered me a visa and cable advice from Dakar. He assured me that I did not need to put up a bond in order to enter the territory of the Garamantians, about 10 days' journey south from there. On arrival at El Golea, some 8 days later, I read a notice posted by the chef d'annex stating that every traveler, without exception, must possess the receipt for a bond or he would not be allowed to advance into the country of the Garamantians. I went immediately to the fort and asked for the officer in command. These men have no particular names of their own. When the sun rises high in the sky, they curse him and load him with reproaches because he burns and lays waste the surrounding country and themselves. I was granted an interview by the captain, who said he did not know. I radioed to the American consulate in Algiers, asking for a letter of guarantee, saying that I intended to go on to Tamanrasset. There is a mountain called the Pillar of Heaven, so high that the top of it is never seen, clouds not quitting it summer or winter. The natives take their name from it, being the Atlantes. I wired to the Atlantes that I was coming ahead, bond or no bond. They are reported not to eat any living thing, and never to have any dreams. In Tamanrasset, I received a letter from Mr. Knobloch, American vice consul in Algiers, saying that the consulate general had been informed by the government general that as far as the Atlantes, the names of the nations inhabiting the sandy wastes are known, but beyond them, knowledge fails. A bond ought not to be required of American travelers intending to visit the sandy ridge as far west as the Pillars of Hercules. I went immediately to the fort and asked for the officer in command. The captain, chef d'annex of Tamanrasset, told me that he was not American Express. He would not allow anyone to pass without the receipt for a bond of 40,000 francs. This is only a few days' journey from the country of salt. People dwelling in it build their houses of blocks of salt. The captain wired ahead to Agadez, asking if I might proceed with the salt caravan. The salt quarried is of two colors, white and purple. Beyond the ridge, southwards, in the direction I wanted to go, the country is absolute desert. At that moment, there was no transportation for a week. I slept in a ruined barge whose red mud walls threatened to cave in on me. The ghosts of the wild, wandering people came and glared at me with evil, yellow eyes from the outer dark, beyond the patch of light thrown by my little gasoline primus. Hobbled camels stumbled in on me and fell over like mud walls. At dawn, I was awakened by a pack of wild asses that scampered away like schoolboys when I clapped my hands. An hour before the salt caravan was due to leave, I was brusquely summoned to the fort and told that Agadez had been informed by Gao that I must wait. From the 16th to the 24th, I was left in complete darkness. The salt caravan was ordered to leave without me, and the master of the caravan warned that if he took me to Agadez, he would have to bring me back. I was advised to leave the ruined adobe boards and move into the hotel, likewise made of mud, where they were all insane. The French manager of this asylum drank 3 to 4 bottles of poisonous anisette and threw knives at the sullen native boys who skulked around stuffing food off the guest plates into their own mouths. Flies supped on the juices of their eyes, great, sad, empty eyes rimmed with clusters of flies. Flies drank at the corners of their loose lips. Flies swarmed, thick as fur tablecloths, on the dining room table. Flies rode around, marshaled into squadrons on everyone's back, noses into the wind, forming and leaping to reform at every move. Sticky fly hands in my nostrils, my ears, my eyes, my mouth. The hotel was at war with the fort. The fort had forced me to move from the ruined gorge. I was, therefore, well received at the hotel, until I had to admit that I did not drink. While my fellow palefaces gathered about the bar, I slipped away. Dusk fell. Quick as ink dropping into water, it fell into night, and I was gone. I had a connection made on the transport, a greaser from Insala, who played a flute made from an old bicycle pump. He sang all day and all night as we churned across the sandy wastes. I got a girl, got so much gold she can't get around. Get up, gazelle, 'cause I'm your guy. We'll swap the gold for a taxi, love. We'll grind across the Sahara, gazelle. I'll throw in my clutch and never stop. Oh, we'll cross the Sahara and never come back. A little old man jumped up from where he had been sitting like a bush in the vasty waste and flagged us down. Where's your baggage, father? This is the way I came, and this is the way I shall return. No baggage. He didn't like my smoking keef in the cabin either. It was bad enough for such a holy little man to have to sit next to me at all. I had to keep up my disguise. My sponsors insisted on homosexuality and keef for this adventure. I'm not a free agent, you see. I slipped away to a house within a compound on the skirting of the desert toward the launching pad. I knocked as I had been instructed. Did the hotel know where I went? Was the fort having me followed? Who were the informers amongst those who received me so well? My 10 companions kicked off their sandals at the door and unveiled their dark faces as they entered, murmuring the elaborate passwords of greeting to our host, sweet singer of the Sahara. He bade us be seated cross-legged around the edges of a woven reed mat, spread on the white sand floor of his windowless room whose walls were made of red mud. Some of the initiates had come from as far away as the Sudan on camelback, a painful journey of 6 weeks. I had come from even further across the desert wastes, where great rivers run away into the sand. The river hath more need of the fountain than the fountain hath need of the river. Here the fountain bubbled up through his lips and ours from the great fossil underground river where the blind crocodile of Alamut has lurked for centuries in darkness. Sun, whose after image still burned on the backs of our eyes, had fallen over the edge of world, drawing the blue flood of night over the Sahara. We closed out the desert and sat with our eyes fixed on the diamond-hard white flame of the carbide kinky lamp, standing on the center of the mat beside the sheep's bladder full of keef, which I had brought from Morocco. I took my place in the circle and became the other initiates, one after the other, as I had been instructed to do, night after night. On the 40th night, when I took my place and became a link in the chain, I fell into, took impression of someone new to me and powerful. I glanced around the circle of dark brothers and recognized the black marabou from Aoulet. We sang the canticle together around the white light of the kinky, and I knew that it was time for me to depart. I took leave of the initiates. Oh, the strange relaxation of it. Only I was alien as it had ever